Hi, my name is Gloria Cabral. I'm the baking and pastry instructor at Bristol Community College and also the department chair. What I'm going to do is a couple of videos for you on basic cooking. But one of the things I always want, they're not in the videos, but I do it beforehand, is I always make sure my hands are washed. You should wash them for at least 20 seconds. Actually singing a happy birthday song would help. Make sure you get in between your nails, in between your hands, around here before you start, and I do it in between everything that's from raw to cook and everything else. My hair is always back because I don't want to see any hair in my food. I'll wear a hat or some type of, when you're at home you can wear a baseball cap, put it in a ponytail if you have long hair, just to keep it off the table or off your food. When I'm at work, I use rubber gloves. When anything's going to be eaten after it's already cooked, I will use rubber gloves. In my video I do not, because I'm at home cooking. I use a couple of tools you'll see me use, in my knives and scales and different things like that that I will already have prepared. What we talk about a lot is mise en place, and mise en place is everything in its place. So before I start cooking, I will get my recipe together. I put all my ingredients together. So as I'm cooking it, I will take it aside and clean it as I go. This way it's much more efficient in your kitchen, and no matter what age you are when you're cooking, you always want to make sure everything is all together. You know how to make it, and you clean as you go. So this way you don't have a big mess for later. I always keep my thermometer close at hand and my scale off to the side because I do a lot of measuring. You can use cups and teaspoons and tablespoons for many of your recipes, and then I'm always cleaning up as I'm going along so I don't have a big mess. So I hope you enjoy these next videos and you have a good day. Today for your healthy meal we're going to make a lunch, and a luncheon salad. Many kids love buffalo fingers, buffalo chicken, buffalo anything with that. So we're going to do a buffalo chicken salad. Again, this is one of my favorites because I do like spicy, and we're going to make this healthy. Now, by looking at it, we're going to try and do a lot of different vegetables, and this is the fun part of a salad. Not very plain is boring, but when you add different things, you can be creative as you want. So, I've already prepped the romaine lettuce. Now I use romaine. Here is a butter leaf lettuce. This one is hydroponically grown because you see the roots underneath. It's grown in water inside a greenhouse, so there's no animals next to it, no anything else. So those are very organic. Romaine lettuce is a very dark lettuce, and the darker your vegetables, the more healthier they are. So what I did is, when it comes into the house, I wash it in a water and light white vinegar solution, and then I cut it all up and I rinse it, and I put them in. You see a little bit of a paper towel in here to absorb the extra water, and my lettuce is already cut up. So I'm going to start setting up my plate before we start cooking the chicken. So we have just a little bit of the lettuce. And lettuce tends to get brown very quickly, so you try to cut this up in the same day or the day before you're going to do that. I took some of the butter lettuce that we had over here that's already been washed, and what I want to do is add a little bit of extra to it. But it's easier if I add some. Now this is parsley. This is my little secret to a lot of my salads. But it's very hard to cut because it's so small, so I'm mixing it in with my butter lettuce. And I'm going to tuck this all in and roll it really, really tight and put on my cutting board. Now my cutting board has a little damp towel underneath so it doesn't really move. And I'm going to cut it in half. See, my fingers are on each side of the knife. Then I'll put my hands above it and cut it. Then I'm going to tuck my fingers in and roll them. And I'm going to do what they call a chiffonade. Very, very, very thin layers. I keep tucking in my lettuce, tucking in my fingers, watching where everything goes. With the parsley inside, it's going to give it a nice extra flavor. If I was making a taco salad, I'd probably put cilantro in there if I like cilantro. Some people really don't like it, but it's another green leafy herb. There you go. Put that on top. So a lot of times you don't want to eat things that are too big in your mouth. So you want to eat things, and you always want to make it look very pretty. So when I'm cutting a carrot and I have these baby carrots, again, I'm just going to put my knife in and I'm going to carefully slide down with my fingers. Now you put the flat part down, tuck it in, and I'm just going to make very thin sticks. I'm always watching my fingers. You always got to pay attention. You want to watch where that knife is, and towards the end, you can bring your finger up or your hand up. Let's add a little bit of color in here. I can always add it this way, same thing, and carefully, I can do nice little circles. Because what it does, it gives it a different look, watching your fingers, a different look to your salad. I'll put those over there. Now cucumbers, when I peel cucumbers, I don't usually peel the whole thing unless I'm going to use it, so I'm just going to peel some of this with my peeler. Peelers are usually made for right-handed people. Let's see, will this work on the left hand? Yep. So this works on both hands, so there's no excuses in the kitchen. Cut off that little piece, take my greens. If you're composting or have a garden or any kind of animals, save those parts. So I have to figure I'm going to have about 1/4, which is right here, of this cucumber. I'll put this aside. Now I have strips. I have little round discs. I'm going to cut these into half moons, but a little bit chunkier. Because I want to be everything to fit into my mouth. I have nice, beautiful golden yellow tomatoes. They have a different, nice flavor to them. When I buy my tomatoes, I usually leave them out for a few days in the table, just so they can keep ripening, because when they come from the store, they're not too ripe. Again, same thing with the pepper. I'm only going to take what I need, and I can store the rest together because I don't want it to go bad too fast. And I'm looking at a different look here. I could do long strips. I could do chunks. Let's take this piece out right here. This is the rib. We want to always watch where our fingers are going. We can actually use our fingers to pull it out. I'll lay it flat, and I'm going to... And if they get too big, I can cut it in half, and then I can continue doing the same. Always watching where my fingers are. Okay, and what's very common when you have buffalo anything, buffalo chicken, buffalo flavored things, is celery and carrots. I already put my carrots in there. Again, and I have to decide on how much I want to eat. I can cut these in, I'm going to cut this stalk in half. And then just put, watching my fingers, and I'll sprinkle this in the middle to give it a nice crunch. So any basic salad like this is a great start for it. I can put on any type of meat, chicken, more vegetables, nuts, candied nuts, dried fruit in here, fresh fruit in there, maybe an apple would be great. But just starting with this salad, then we're going to go cook our chicken. Now I'm going to prepare the buffalo chicken for the salad. Now buffalo chicken basically is what they call Frank's Red Hot Sauce, garlic, and a little bit of butter. So you can use spraying oil instead if you don't want to use the butter. But I'm just going to add just a little bit of butter. Just about a teaspoon of butter in the pan. My pan is nice and hot. So I'm just going to get that all set. I usually cut my chicken into about 3 to 4 ounce portions for lunch and a little bit bigger for dinner. So I usually slice a whole bunch of chicken, I freeze it, and I just take out what I need. So I'm just going to sprinkle just a little bit of salt and pepper and a lot of bit of garlic. That's what's nice about it. And I'll put the seasoned side down. And when you're sitting here listening, you'll hear it sizzle a little bit. The same thing again. I'm going to do the other side. And the reason I wash my hands after because I touch the chicken. Remember, when you're working with chicken, you have to make sure all the area is clean. And if you're touching it, you want to make sure that you wash your hands right after. You see it's nice little sizzle. And what I want it to do is get a brown on one side. And then I will flip it over so it cooks on the other side. And then I'll just add a little bit more of the Franks to give it a little coating. Warm it up a little bit and get it ready for my salad. Get a nice brown color on it, both sides of this. I want to make sure it's cooked in between. So it takes about 15 minutes to cook between the two sides because it's thin. If it was thicker, it would take a little bit longer. And what I did is season it all the way through because you want to season in layers. So now my chicken breast will also be seasoned. I have plenty of garlic on here. I'll throw a little bit of the Franks. I'm going to lower it. You get a lot of smoke because it is very warm. And I'll put my vent on. And I'm going to let that simmer for about 2 minutes. Okay, I just finished cooking the chicken. I let it sit for about 5 to 6 minutes. It depends on how many chickens you have or how many things you have here because you want the juices to go back inside. What I want to do is the grain is going this way, so I'm going to cut against the grain. Again, might be with the grain here. So I'm probably cutting when you cut with the grain, it's a little bit chewier. If you cut against the grain, it's a little bit more tender. See, nice little pieces. You can cut them as thick or thin as you want. You can cut them in half. You have to remember with the Franks, the hot sauce, sometimes it can choke you right here a little bit because it is spicy. When I do it for my family, I even add a little bit more of sriracha, which is even a hotter sauce. Slide that all down there so it has a nice little look to it. This can be made almost anywhere. You can do it on a campfire and grill your chicken. You can do it with any type of chicken, any type of meat. But all that beautiful presentation. I like to add a little bit, a lot of cheese. And you can choose different dressings to drizzle on. This is a blue cheese dressing. And what I like to do is I like to put it on the side because I don't like a lot of dressing. I like to dip into the dressing. So here's your beautiful healthy salad. Again, you can just start with a basic salad like I did buffalo chicken, but you can do barbecue chicken. You can do a hamburger without the bread. This way, when you have a healthy meal like this, when it comes to dessert, you can indulge a little bit more. Bon appetit. When you get ready to sit down and eat, you want to make sure you always have a nice table setting afterwards. You don't want to eat in the go all the time. You want to make sure you have time to relax and enjoy and digest your food. So make sure that you always have your plate. And I usually have a napkin, and I fold my napkin to the side. Even if I'm having a small lunch or breakfast, we'll always do that. My fork and my knife will go on there, and I'll use a spoon if I have more courses to eat. But usually in the meals that I'll be preparing, a fork and a knife will be suitable. So then when I sit down at the table, I will have everything all set. So get in the habit of, before you're planning, if you're going to eat for 1 or 4 or as many as you need, get the table set. It makes a nice area to sit down and enjoy your meal. I hope you enjoyed the videos as much as I did making them. I would love you to try the food that we've created for you. Very simple. Doesn't have to be fancy, but they're very healthy and very flavorful. That's what makes it fun. Good food, good friends, good family, good times. Have a great day.